Lanre Adenekon answers questions, age-long and contemporary questions about Christians and Christianity, about family, marriage, love, sex, and what have you, about finances, politics, and whatever question, Christian and scriptural perspectives on all questions. You are welcome. Okay, before I bring Pastor on board fully this evening, the numbers to dial to be a part of this program will be 080 3377 3377. Again, the number is 080 3377 3377. Alternatively, you may want to call 090 4141 5151. Again, the other number will be 090 4141 5151. Okay, we have in the house and to take on our questions tonight the pioneer senior pastor of the Chapel of Victory Incorporated in person of Reverend Dr. Olanrewaju Adenekon. Pastor, good evening and welcome.
Good evening. Nice to have you around tonight, Pastor Ron.
Thank you, sir. We have Daddy-in-law already calling. Good evening, sir, and thank you for calling, Pastor. Explain this.
Good evening, sir.
I'm now on the air.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
You're welcome, sir.
The question I want to ask is this. Please, on what condition can one divorce his wife? One, in a situation when a woman becomes uncontrollable, not submissive, and became possessed, is it enough to send such a wife away from home? With particular reference to Ephesians 5. Sir, I want you to explain.
Okay, with particular reference to Ephesians chapter 5.
What? Just 5 in general, sir.
That says a woman should be submissive.
Okay.
If a woman is no longer submissive and she became possessed and uncontrollable, is it enough to divorce such a woman?
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, sir, for calling. We really appreciate you, sir. We missed you last week.
Okay. Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. God help us all. All these things, uncontrollable, possessed. I've forgotten one more thing that Daddy mentioned the other time. In spite of all those things, heavy as they may seem, if the woman became that, it implies that the woman was not so at a point in time or the other. And therefore, what made her to become that? Something happened along the line that made her to become that. I would suggest that the husband, as well as people who are around them, maybe they are pastors or spiritual leaders, should all work together to see how, what is the root of this change in this person. Okay, and see whether if they are able to pluck things from the root, the person may change. If we have this thing about quickly sending some woman, out of marriage or out of wedlock or divorcing and all that, at the end of the day, we may be doing the wrong thing. Why am I talking this way? I have several examples of people who have done this thing 5 years down the line, 7 years down the line. They were now saying they were too quick to go about that divorce thing. If they had waited a little bit more, been a bit more patient, they just might have been able to rectify the situation or redeem the situation, as the case may be. I've seen so many of that. And so some of these things that have been, you mentioned possessed among the things that you said. Being possessed is the simplest of them all. If she's possessed, you just cast out the demon. You don't need to drive away the woman because you just cast out the demon and the woman is free. And God blesses you for it. And in fact, it becomes part of your testimony. Okay? Because I've seen people say, it's God that my wife is a witch. That's fine. If she's a witch, then deliver her. Get out of what do they call it? Is it witchhood? No, witchcraft. Get her out of that thing and your lives can go on. I want to say that we realize that in some situations, separation initially and maybe divorce may be the only way out, especially when it is to preserve life. But then some of these heavy things that we bring up and say is the reason for divorce, at times even husbands are like that. So we should also ask, if a husband is uncontrollable and is possessed and is, and all that, should the wife also divorce him? The same, it goes both ways actually. It's good for us to work very hard to keep the marriage, because if we're able to keep it, it's better for the society and for the children. Thank you.
Okay, then we have ODUGBESAN John. Good evening, Daddy. Thank you for calling Pastor Explain This.
Good evening.
Good evening,
You're
sir.
welcome, sir.
Good evening, Pastor.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Hello. Now, my question is found in Psalm 15, 1:5.
Yes, sir.
And the last part of verse 4.
Okay, sir.
I want an explanation, in-depth explanation on how one swears to his own heart and yet not reneging on it. Please, I need your explanation. Thank you, sir.
All right, sir.
Part of verse.
Okay, the righteous man swears to his heart and does not alter. Yeah, what the Bible is trying to say there, remember that I say here all the time, the letter killeth, but the spirit giveth life. What the Bible is trying to say is that when a man has given his word, and this, I think this is very, very important, when you have given your word, then stand by your word. Do not begin to change your word because of circumstances or because of whatever. Somebody doesn't like it, somebody's not enjoying it, or it's not politically correct, and all those things that make people to be shifty